cousin. I'm from California. Speak a little southern. Cheap about a dozen. Can you keep a secret? Look who in my recent. She's so indecent. You don't want no beef with. You don't want no beef with.
And talk to me wild like they ain't try to be drowned like when y'all 12. You wasn't trying to be Kyle. Copy my style and show it to their friends and try to say that it's them, but y'all know what this is. Red bone on the couch and they both mahogany brown. Gap is so big it can see my house. Then again, my view is too stupid, bruh, for real. Don't forget about who really do this, bruh, for real. It's so
Cali, go closer. You like a lot of to the clipping in the holster like it's supposed to be closer than your chauffeur, Costa Nostra. Stick up to your nose, this rolling stone and no loner. California, ill as pneumonia when we confold you with the villain's aroma, pilling out, spilling all your feelings out on the corner, chilling out. Ice grilling my mouth, shout out to soldiers, not pulling the out to show you, but the brains over the rover. You put a coat over the stain, cause for the day we whipping your rain, so you're hitting the bank. Don't forget that the game coded in polars. California bears, take your chain off. Put it in the air like the motor hit the rotor.
We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's all about divisional matchups on this final day of the regular season, and we've got a compelling one in store here. As it'll be the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Green Bay Packers. Sheds off the tackle. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. On play action, it's Murray. That's complete to Michael Wilson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And a rain slow materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. You look at this Packers defense. They enter play here 24th in the league against the run.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better.
Play action. Now it's Murray. Now he'll tuck this and run. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 in the first.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7. From the 21, here's second and a couple. Running right on the option is Murray. And holding it, maybe the wrong decision as he's stopped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Murray. Now the ball comes loose. And the Packers pick it up.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there.
Ready.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. And this defense for the Cardinals, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run. What a savvy read by the running back. He saw his quarterback was out of the pocket in a little bit of trouble. He just broke off his route and took off deep downfield. Thought for a second there they had him, but they were unable to connect for a big play.
He'll try and do this himself, and he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Ready, ready. 33, yellow. Set.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. The Packers had 5 and 11 on the year. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So into Cardinal territory now. It's first and 10 at the 47.
Here we go. Cut, cut.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. He's got it to the 43 here.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Ready.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
Packers first down. First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Red, 38. Ready?
Once again, it's Jacobs. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Here's a carry for Oliver. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Set, hut, hut.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
But, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open. Just a split second too late on the release. Jacobs. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
52 black. Let's go now. Black, old, yellow, 43. Blaster, 6. Hut, hut.
They'll drop to throw. He'll try and do this himself. He's got Watson. It's caught. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. McManus's point after is good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now Pinion with a kickoff honors following the touchdown. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Now Murray off play action. Finding his target, it's Trey McBride. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Micah Parsons able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7-0 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 44 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. Black, 95, set.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Stays on his feet. Down at the 35. It'll be 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
It's now 3rd down.
Facing some long odds here if they hope to convert, as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage.
Hey, green. Ready.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. They'll look to throw. He'll try to do it himself. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
Ready, ready. Check, smash. Ready.
Here's Jacobs. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers go up by 2 touchdowns.
What a luxury it is to be able to call a bowling ball like Josh Jacobs down near the goal line. 5'10", 220 pounds, and he's not afraid to get in there and get the tough yards. Finishes off this drive with a touchdown run.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early? Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. He's on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. Trey Benson, 77 yards. And the Cardinals are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point by Ryland, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. Ryland now following the touchdown, back out to kick it away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 65 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign.
Let's go now.
First and 10 at the
49-yard
line.
60 red. Set.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Ready. Cut.
They go play action here on first down. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
At the 22-yard line.
Red. 38.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7.
Here we go. Cut.
Back to throw now on first down. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Timing is crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Here we go. Drill. 52 drill. Ready.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And they're knocking on the door now. There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 11 yards there. First down.
First down and 10 yards to go.
Set. Ready. Blue. Set.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Brings up second and 10.
Down.
At the Cardinals' 10-yard
33.
line.
Set.
He'll look to throw. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds a defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
He's got Watson. It's caught. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. His 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. McManus's point after is good. And it's now 21-7. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
At the 21-yard line.
From the gun, Murray. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Here we go, set. Black 40.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. The kick by McManus is good. And that will do it for this first half.
Packers 24, Cardinals 7.
So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Here now a 3rd down and 8.
Set. Ready.
They'll set up to throw. It's a loss of 11 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Taken from just outside the 30. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Murray going to throw. A short one here, caught by McBride. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Cardinals, first down. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
On 1st down, it's Benson. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Here's Murray. This one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. It's brought in by Wilson. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Packers' 5-yard line.
Murray now to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Quay Walker. And the Packers are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
Murray's pass intercepted.
Black swap.
The Packers take over 1st and 10
Set
at their own 9-yard line.
On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. Trying to run inside, but nothing there.
Taken down.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. At the 9-yard line.
Let's go now.
They're going to look to throw. Got his man. That's Luke Musgrave. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
He'll try to pick it up himself. He's got his target. That's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. So the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
That's good for the Packers. First down.
Come on, ready?
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And shutting him off now open field. 115 yards rushing for him now as he is finishing off the regular season with a bang. But these Packers and these Packer fans really thrive in the cold temperatures here at Lambeau. And their guys have the lead here with a 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Here we go. Set. Ready.
2nd and 6. Out to the left here to Reed. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
That's another Packers first down.
Here we go.
1st and 10 at the 38.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Caught on the right side, Reed. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. He was out there waving his arms. When you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter.
Set. Ready.
On play action, they'll throw. Pass caught. That's Golden. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. The throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense can...
They will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Luke Musgrave from 13 yards out. And the Packers look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing now is Murray. Over the middle, complete. That's Wilson. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Cardinals first down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Kyler going to give this to Benson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
To throw, it's Murray. Short one here, caught by McBride. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
50 catches for him now on the year. He's got a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
In motion right, that's Wilson. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Here's Murray from midfield. Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced.
Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Picked off by Quay Walker, and the Packers are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Looking to put a drive together.
At their own 34-yard line.
Here we go. Ready?
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here we go. Hut, hut.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Walter Nolan drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. The 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And bulldozing his way through. He's still on his feet. He may go. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. A huge play there on the screen pass. 52 yards.
And the Cardinals forced down.
Here's Murray. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. From 8 yards out. And the Cardinals are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Back out is the kicker, Ryland, and he'll send this one away. And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line.
Here we go. Set. 10 black. Set.
And they take a knee.
Down. 50 green.
And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play.
33, yellow. Hut.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for Green Bay, they do get the victory here in the season finale, but it was altogether a somewhat disappointing season as they'll wind up at 6-11. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they will indeed limp to the finish line, unfortunately, as they close out a 6-11 campaign. And this is a team that has a few good pieces in play.